And welcome back to Sorcery. We have just finished the Thieves' Fair where we were robbed and then we beat up an ogre after several tries. And now we are on our way to Mansion Row. I still don't know where I can buy food. So, we are going to the road. You leave the fair behind you and climb through the fields towards the outskirts of the buildings until you reach a fork in the road. The slum districts of Lower Carhay are unlikely places to find nobles, but you might be able to learn their names or where they're hiding. The elbow of the fork is a grand, well-kept building. Steam pumps from its roof. A creature emerges looking refreshed and flushed. It's a bathhouse. Dude, yes, bathhouse. I have some money! You step into the cool of the bathhouse, its wide building of marbled tiles and sweet smell of pine and fresh wood. Gentle voices echo and murmur around the walls. Creature by the front desk greets you with a smile. Good afternoon, my lady, it purrs. The water is cool and fresh today. A swim costs 4 gold pieces. Really? That's half my money. Is it worth it? Oh, very. The waters are known for their healing and refreshing qualities. We have a steam room and a lagoon pool. We'll be well catered for. No, I don't have that much. I don't have that much money to spare. Uphill or cliff road? Let's go around the outside first. You head along the cliff-top road into an area of larger, more impressive buildings. The road passes through the ruins of a grand building in what must have once been a glorious morning room. An ornamental pond is all that remains. Moss grows from the cracks in its tiled sides. We are definitely going to go over and look. You walk over to the pond. Ooh, look, a fish. Despite its great age, it seems well tended and the water is surprisingly clear. A small scarlet fish darts out from behind the stone as you watch. Bubbles rise from its mouth as they break. You hear the breath of words. Something else glints in the bottom of the pool. Lean close to hear the words. Kneeling beside the pond, you put your ear close to the water. Little scarlet fish swims up and spits a drop of water at your cheek. If fish could laugh, you would swear this fish was chuckling. Again, its mouth bubbles and is with a sound like "Worthers." What does it mean? Your eyes trace the second gleam. Not a fish this time, but a gold piece. Someone must have thrown it in the water for good luck. Taste the water. You scoop a handful of water and taste it. It's brackish and foul, and you spit it out immediately. You know what? I'm not going to risk some sort of danger thing from taking a gold piece out of a wishing well. I lose my money so much anyway, it doesn't really matter. We're not going to risk God's wraths, especially with a talking fish. You follow the cliff-top road looking down the fields of Carhay. You see workers still breaking their backs in the setting sun. Halfway along, you pass a creature with a signboard slung around its neck. Read the board. Doom comes! The world is ending! The creature notices your gaze and begins to approach. Greetings! The creature looks into your eyes. Stranger, he mutters, do you have a moment for salvation? Salvation from you? Creature looks confused. It is not I who brings destruction to the city. It is not I who... And all who go will be destroyed, the creature finishes. You blink. Did you miss something? The creature appears to be waiting for an answer. Who go where? The council has abandoned us, he replies. There is a stir of revolution. People live in fear and they do not listen. Revolution. Fire burns in the deep, the creature replies. 1,000 angry voices wait to rise. Go below and you shall find the king. Then he blinks suddenly as though surprised to find himself on the street. What king? Creature looks startled, yelps, and then runs away up the street. Was that a clue? Alright. Fire burns in the deep. Go below and you shall find the king. Alright. Into the plaza. Stone Plaza, where people meet to eat in the evenings. It's a busy spot and the smell of sizzling meat and broth fills the air. It makes you hungry. Oh God, can I please get something to eat? You slip into the shadow of the market. It is clearly after hours. The carpet and trinket sellers have packed away, boarding up their shops. Food vendors are set up. Awesome. Give me some fucking rations. Smells are incredible. Meat, spices, wine, food. The meat is more expensive than the vegetables. You wander the corridors while letting the smells tickle your stomach. There seems to be three main cuisines: hill fox broth, rat bear stew, and lentil curry with strange orange vegetables. Meat is more expensive, costing 6 instead of 4. Fuck it, steal some food. You decide the prices are too high and will steal yourself some supper. You pick up a mug from a chai seller and move across the market to loiter close to one of the stalls. All you need to do is slip the mug into the cauldron and walk away. Oh, this is not gonna end well for me. This is not gonna end well. You wait for the Sven lady tending the stall to look away, then dunk your cup. Then you hover a few minutes longer so as not to look suspicious and walk away sipping at your chai. But your success is short-lived. The stew is disgusting and contains barely any rat bear meat at all, and you feel no better. You toss half the stew away. You head to the exit once more. Well, guess what? I'm allowed to rewind time. Go to the food stalls. Fuck it. Get some chai, or some curry. You wait for the skinny woman with the lentil stew to look away, then dunk your cup. Once it's full, you walk away sipping your curry. It's extremely good and makes you feel better. You head for the exit once more. The market probably has several ways out, but it is thick with people, and after several minutes of wandering, you find yourself emerging back into the plaza you came from. Hell yes. Fuck it, I have rewind time. I'm just gonna get something. When it comes to fucking living? Back out we go. Let's see. We've got head left and return along. Let's go back up here. Just keep browsing around the sides. You take the side road and climb up a winding street. It is quieter now, and there are fewer creatures on the streets. Streets are likely to be dangerous after dark. You should find somewhere to sleep. If I knew where there was somewhere to sleep, I'd go there. The road underfoot becomes better paved. You are in a residential street, but where the lower floors of the houses have all been covered up by boards. There is no one about, but from the windows of the higher stories you hear sounds of people talking, carousing, arguing, and snoring. A little further along, the road ends in a wall of stone through which someone has hewn a narrow archway, perhaps with a mining pick. Squeezing through, you find yourself in a slightly wider lane that leads left and right. At a junction. You stand almost at the foot of the city wall once more. The road runs from right and uphill left. Fountain dribbles water into a stony bowl. You cup your hand and drink from the fountain. Feeling better, you look for where to go next. Go left, go right. I'm going to continue along the outskirts. The road climbs further, looping back in on itself as it climbs. Several little alleys disappear between the homes and buildings on either side. This area of town is spider webs that would be easy to lose yourself in. You pass a shop that says Metal Workers Guild. Sure, let's check out the Metal Workers Guild. You open the door and enter the small building to find a messy workshop littered with pipes, tubes, and barrels that leak hot gases into the air. A gnome and a troll are leaning over the innards of some kind of machine, tinkering and turning spanners. They don't notice you come in. Whoops. While their attention is diverted, you take a moment to poke around looking for anything useful you can take with you. There's no sign of any money anywhere about, but most of the tools are strange, specialized items that you have no idea how to use or even what they might be for. In one corner is a curious item which might have value, a small metal statue of a pig standing on its hind legs. Quite ordinary, except for every few minutes, it hiccups. Do I just take it? Ask him about it. You approach the two metal workers. The troll turns, staring at you blankly, chomping on his upper lip with oversized teeth. The gnome is more friendly, lifting up his eye shields and smiling. Ignore my dumb friend, he beams. Welcome to our shop. Tell me how that statue works. Our little piggy? That's one of Raglish's creations. And unbelievably, he pats the dumb-looking troll on the shoulder, and the troll coughs twice. It's an articulated automaton. Seeing your confusion, he clarifies, it runs on magic gas. What's it for? The gnome shrugs. Nothing really, it just hiccups. We're working on the next model, which, if we get right, he glowers briefly at Raglish as he speaks, then he'll be able to pickpocket people. We're planning to unveil it at the festival, but we're behind. Maybe next year. The troll burps. What is this place? This is the Metalworkers Guild. That's metalwork, not blacksmithery. But no one seems to have much interest in metalworking. It's the future, of course. The gnome chirrups to himself. North Gate. Do you know any spells for the North Gate? The gnome barks a surprised laugh, almost knocking himself over. No, he exclaims, that's wizarding, which is about as far from what we do as eggs are from cooked eggs. The troll shakes his head sadly. I know, the gnome remarks to his friend. No one understands what we do. It's most frustrating. Troll picks up a spanner and drops it again. I need to be going, you say. Raglash growls at you quite suddenly. The gnome nods. My friend is right, he says. We should be getting back to work. You nod and leave the shop. Interesting. We're not going to worry about it. The docks. You emerge from a narrow, winding alley into an open space. On the far side, the Jahabi River slides past, its surface strewn with flotsam and jetsam, dragged up from fallen parts of the city. The sails of the boats at anchor billow and snap in the breeze. You have reached the docks, the beating heart of Karhe. There are 2 or 3 ships moored for the night, and the space between the road is filled with a huge number of stalls and little shops, selling everything from fishing tackle to sailing blocks to barrels of Woolhouse rum. This must be a thriving marketplace during the day. With night approaching, it's a maze of booths and cloths. A single bridge crosses the river here, operated with ropes to let the tall ships through. Right now the bridge is up to allow ships to sail through undisturbed. There are 2 inns visible from here, the Wayfarer's Rest and the Meat and Cleaver. There is nothing obviously different about either of them. Also somewhere nearby, the Shrine of Slank. Maybe the shrine will let me camp out for the night. Remembering that the shrine is near docks, you search in these side streets until you see a promising-looking low building. You step into the doorway of the shrine at the same time as a tall woman and her child are leaving. He really is a holy man, Mother, the little one is saying. Lassen's lame brother answered his questions, and he ran off the stage. Mother nods and the pair leave. Interesting. The shrine is an old stone building, garishly decorated with hanging cloths and thick candles that fill the air with the smell of grease and tar. At the far end, on a low platform, stands a hooded figure in a white robe who is talking to the assembled crowd. Does anyone else wish to take the test of slang? The god of malice, the priest calls out. A murmur goes around the crowd. People are nervous but excited. Ask about the challenge. It is a test of slang, the woman replies in a whisper. He grants you a wish if you answer him correctly, but you have to worship him, or else the question he asks is impossible. She shudders and grins. They don't call him the god of malice for nothing. Are your hearts so cold, taunts the priest? Does no one here want anything? Is no one in dire or deadly need of God's aid? The crowd is a mixture of young and old women and men. Some cheer and joke and murmur, while others have their legs and arms folded in a devout pose to pray through silent lips. How many spectators and how many are followers of Slag, you cannot tell. As he waits for an answer, the priest plucks a knife from his belt and casually stabs it into his own hand. You wait and watch. Suddenly a man leaps to his feet. I'll do it, he declares. The rest of the group cheers, and the man, a geriatric, is helped to the platform. Are you a follower of Slang? The priest asks. The man spits. Very well. In one corner of the room, a gong is sounded. The crowd falls silent. Which do you choose? The priest demands of the man. Will you take the impossible challenge or pay the price of the easy challenge? The man looks uncertain and turns to the audience. People begin shouting suggestions. I'm just going to wait and see. You sit back, curious to see what happens. The crowd is split. Some want the drama of the impossible. Others want to see the man be granted his blessing. After a few minutes, the priest quiets the room and turns back to the man. So, what do you choose? I'll take the impossible challenge, the man grins. Very well, the priest declares. There is no price for impossible challenge. Are you ready? The man nods excitedly. The crowds hush. Tell me, the priest said, what is the answer to the question that is never asked? The man falls silent for a moment, chewing his lower lip and musing over his answer. He finally says, silence. The priest smiles sadly and shakes his head. A clever answer, but not correct. The crowd sighs in disappointment. The woman next to you remarks, "People always try the impossible challenge. You'd think they'd get the hint." The man leaves the platform and the priest turns back to the crowd. "Who will be next?" I don't know enough about slag to do any challenge, but I'll probably be able to come back. I should be able to come back. You know? Let's just see what the question is. "A stranger," the priest calls with glee. "Welcome her, please." "Welcome, stranger. Are you ready to take the challenge, knowing full well that few succeed?" "I will try." The crowds cheer at your response. "Then know this, Slang is not a punishing god, but he is malicious. He does not wish for you to fail, but should you fail, he wishes you to know that it was your own fault." The priest continues, "Our practice is that you may choose which question to answer, but know this, one is impossible and the other is easy. To answer the easy question, you must give up something you hold most dear." Let's just see what the impossible question is. Malice, silence, or infinity? Malice makes sense. The impossible question, and Malice. We'll go with Malice. Aurora grows up. They can see that this was not the right answer. Steal the altar candles. You'll not go without a reward. Taking one of the gold altar candles, blow out the flame and open your pack. The priest laughs with joy. He claps his hands. 4 ogres wearing white robes emerge from either side of the platform and grab you by the arms. You wait patiently. You're physically carried out of the shrine and dumped on the track outside. The candle is removed, as is your pouch of gold. Alright, so that was not the right answer. So we're going to wait to go there until we have some more information on this guy. Can I sleep in the markets? You head over to the empty stall in the market. The covers and awning should provide ample shelter and with so many stands you'll be held well hidden. Sleep. You stretch out beside one of the stalls with your pack beneath your head and close your eyes. It really is the same evening. The gathering clouds, the fading light. Incredible. You sleep soundly until you're woken by the sound of footsteps in stalls nearby. You wake immediately. You keep your breathing quiet and listen. 2 men are talking in whispers in one of the stalls to your right. "Did you find any?" one man asks. The second grunts. "Nothing any good." "I told him," the first replies. "Snatch too many people and even the Karians will stay indoors." Keep listening. "How many do we have?" "Enough to get more," the second answers. "Not enough to do anything with them." "No one's even seen Sansus for 3 weeks." The first makes a coughing noise. He says something else, but too quiet to hear. "You sure about that? How do you think Sansus got to be the first?" I keep listening. "I'm going to get more clues, but I might get caught." You stay low and listen further, but 2 men say nothing more. Then you hear another noise. A third man is approaching, but this one seems to have a dog with him. 3 greet the one another. "Any finds?" "A couple strays," the new voice remarks. "Dogs." Dog begins to bark. Voices murmur something, but you're far away to hear it. We get away from the dog. Kidnappers? Slavers? Either way, these men are clearly dangerous. You edge away between the stalls. "Yeah, see, dog would have found me. I would have gotten robbed again. Not doing that." Go right. You turn to the right and crawl towards the riverside. The men are quickly out of earshot. One thing is clear. Sleep outside is to invite disaster. Instead, you seat yourself by the edge of the fat, slug-like Jahabi River, where the air is by turns fresh and stomach-churningly rancid, both of which should help you stay awake through the long watches of the night. You sit as the river creeps past. It really is the same evening. You notice a light on the far bank. It is a lantern. For a while, it moves forwards and backwards and joined by several more. Voices call to one another. They are looking for escapers, escaping from what you cannot tell. As dawn breaks, one calls, "Vic will be pleased. A clear night tonight." That name again. Glandragor's friend. The men disappear as the sun begins to rise. Your long vigil has left you tired out, but still in one piece. To the next morning. The sun breaks over the rooftops of Lower Carhay. The city looks clean and bright, like a stone polished to a shine by the fast-flowing river. The effect lasts for a beautiful moment, and then the people of Carhay begin to stir, opening the windows to throw out their slop, shouting and cursing at each other as they do so. If I don't want to go to the bridge yet, you're going to make me go to the bridge. The market traders begin to set up their stalls, fighting and threatening each other to get the spots closest to the ships. A few sly types, probably pickpockets, begin to prowl the shadows between the stands. There are still areas of Lower Carhay you have not explored, but you cannot afford to waste more time in these slums. The nobles are to be found. They will be on the other side of the river. If they are not to be found, you must reach the gate and try to find another way through. How much is breakfast? 2 gold. Where was that inn I was supposed to meet my friend at? It's not going to let me explore this side anymore. Might as well get some food, though. Gonna lose my money one how or another. You buy a slice of bread. It is pleasantly filling with a sweet, meaty texture. You thank the woman at the stall and head over to the river to wait for the bridge to be lowered. After a while, a grizzled old man arrives and unlocks a small booth by Harbor Bridge. He goes inside and closes the door behind him. Wait. You sit down outside the booth and wait for the man to lower the bridge. Half an hour goes by and nothing happens. Look in the booth. You stand up and peer at the booth to see what the old man is doing. He has his feet up on a low disc and his hands across his stomach and appears to be consulting a tide chart very closely. So closely, in fact, that it covers his whole face and gently rises and falls when he snores. Tired of waiting, you go over to the booth and knock on the door. The man lowers the window. What you want? Good morning. Ha! Beautiful day, isn't it? The man eyes you suspiciously. Whatever it is, he grumbles, I'm not buying. Of course not. Smart man. The man nods sharply. Yep. Bribe him. If you look, I'll pay you to lower the bridge, you tell him. 3 gold pieces. The man looks at you for a moment, then shrugs. Tide's almost there, you price, but if you want. You hand over 3 gold pieces. No. I didn't want to actually. The man leaves his booth and goes over to a contraption on the waterfront. He begins to heave the wind. If I'd waited, he would have lowered it. Yep, he would have lowered it if I just waited. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to say no. I just wanted to see how much it was going to be. Tide's gotta go darn. Alright then, wait. You waited half hour, enjoying morning sunlight playing on the river. Feels like the first rest you've had since you left the outpost. It's hard to imagine that, had it not been for the Archmage and Birdman, you would never have made this journey, never explored the world outside the wall. Look around. You look around the dock. By the base of the bridge, you notice a winch-like contraption. Perhaps it lowers the bridge? Nope. You wait a little longer. Suddenly, there's a flurry of movement from inside the booth. The old man leaves his booth and goes over to a contraption on the waterfront. He begins to heave and wind the ancient winch. Yeah, I wasn't going to touch it. I'd get in trouble for that. Seems to be quite hard work. He's trying to move the whole weight of the bridge single-handedly. Offer to help. Go off! He said, you'll break it. Alright, fine. You let the man struggle, happy to let him be stubborn. Sweat beads on his forehead, and he heaves and huffs as he works, but eventually the bridge clunks into place. You salute the man cheerfully and get to your feet. Am I not allowed to go back through the rest of the city? That's irritating. You cross the bridge. The other side. You have reached the banks of Upper Carhay. The buildings here are not as grand as on the south side of the river, but they are in much better condition. Fewer people live on this side, away from the fields and hills, but those that do not are richer. They are also likely more dangerous. But of course, it is on this side of the river that the North Gate stands. You follow the road away from the river towards a fork in the road. If there are any nobles still in City Port, their houses are likely to be on this side of the river. But which way? Drink from the fountain. Ask for directions. Excuse me. The creature's head is bowed. It does not look up. Looking left, the road heads into a residential area that seems well cared for. A short way to the right is an open plaza. Well, let's go to the right. You turn right, heading away from the city wall. A sign points towards Fireview Square. You pass large houses that have the aspect of official places of business. One is marked with the clawed fist of a moneylender. An elven woman is just leaving. She looks quite worn out already, this early in the morning. Stop with the woman. You seem distraught. She looks at you, narrow eyes wide. Oh, stranger, you have no idea. Moneylenders have not been generous? Woman laughs. When are they ever generous? But today they have been cruel. She wipes her eyes with a ragged cuff. But no matter. I should not have expected any different. But what of you, stranger? You do not look like a Karen to me. I am new. Is that so? Then maybe you'll need a guide. You're gonna want money, aren't you? She smiles. Very good. I would be able to help you if I can for a fee. God, an undead creature, a beggar, or Northgate. I'm interested in this god. She thinks he has an old temple on the far side of Necropolis. How much do you charge? 4 gold. That's too much. I don't have that much. You shake your head. I'll find my own way. Very well. May you stand the portal trap you see. Wrapping her cloak around herself, she steps into the hurry street. Yeah, well, at least I have a place to go. The alley gets wider and passing a long building on the left which seems to be full of children. On a step, a lanky man sits with his eyes firmly closed. Look at him. He is well dressed, but not healthy looking. Greet him. He does not look up at you. You play Swindlestones. He nods once. From his pocket, he produces a set of dice. What's the stake? Your life. What do I get if I win? Your life. Okay. Yes, I'm playing. You're not serious about the stake for this game, are you? I'm not given to joking. But it's only a game, yes. But it is a game you will lose and never play again. Now, played another creature earlier today. Did it win? Yes. He lost. The stake is in the game. Was this your stake? So if I lose this game, you'll kill me. No. So you're joking. Yes. I will incarcerate you, not kill you. You will do the dying yourself. You don't frighten me. Now, let's begin at 2. I need to find city nobles. They are most difficult to find. Sounds like you've tried. Indeed so. Myself? No, I run an orphanage, but others have. Many have tried to kill them. The creature takes back its dice. A good win, he declares. From his pocket he produces 3 gold pieces and a cloth skullcap. I took these from the last creature I beat, he says. That makes them yours. Gratefully you take the gifts. Will you play again, he asks. No, I have beaten you. I will not risk my life again. Very wise, the creature agrees. You move away down the street. He didn't give me any information, but I did get a few more items. The cloth skull cap, which may or may not be a spellbook item. Skull cap, here we go. Read the mind of any... Oh. It's probably one use only, but man, that'll be so useful. That was a very safe win. You follow the road between large houses until it enters a wide square. Odd-looking creatures mill about, going about their business. Several are clustered in a crowd around a monument of some kind. On the other side of the square, the main road continues on through a low arch. 1,000 other alleyways lead off in all directions into Upper Carhay. Kare. Creatures push and knock into you as they make their way across the plaza, despite being plenty of space. As soon as I read push and knock into you, I looked up at my gold, just to make sure it hadn't, like, all disappeared. None of them seem to be looking where they are going. There's something strange about them in general. Their bodies are spindly, their faces long with downturned mouths. In fact, their eyes seem to be closed. Monument. Here, says one of the creatures, whom elbow you aside, be careful. You knock the creature away. He sputters with rage and begins to threaten you, but other creatures around him calm him down. He stalks away across the square, cursing loudly. Clambering up the steps of the monument, you finally get to see inside, but the monument seems to be empty. Just a circular rug that fills the floor space. The crowd murmur and whisper. What is this? Can't you tell? Were you born yesterday? Suggest an idea. You rack your brains for something that could explain it. It's an altar. Creature laughs at you. Do you see any altar there? Maybe you should go and find it. The crowd clustered around and the monument laughs as though expecting the rug inside to move. Step away. Step away, shaking your head. Clearly these creatures are religious maniacs. A peddler with a tray around his neck walks past you in the square. Anklewort, blimberry, poultice of millweed. Talk to the herbalist. Good day. Can I interest you in a poultice? What are you selling? Let me show you. Musk ointment made from pure musk. What does it do? Hypnotic. Can make you believe almost anything. Don't smell it. He smiles and takes a deep breath, sighing happily. How much does it cost? A pot this size, 4 gold. No, thank you. No matter. What else do you have? Limberry salve. That's a healing thing, doesn't it? How much? 3. No. Essence of bark. Good for sore throats. A man pushes a wheeled cart. Fruit vendor. Your pack is empty of provisions. Oh, thank God. I can finally buy food! I have been waiting for days to buy food. Would you like to buy something? Absolutely. All rotten except for the bomba fruit. How much for the bomba? They're good for you. Screw it, I'll take it. I got rations. He hands over 4 gold pieces and you take the bomba fruit. It is heavy, but it smells right. I had a friend here, Marks, who ate 5 of these every day. Never got ill, but then he never got out of the privy either. I'm new to this city. I need directions. What are you looking for? I mean, not meaning, I hope. I need to find a beggar. I need to find an undead creature. The first noble. Spell lines. Where do you get your fruit? Oh, Jesus. More food. He's not going to tell me. First noble. Undead creature. Blind beggar. You know what? I'm going to look for this blind beggar. Lots of beggars around here. They don't buy anything. I need one called Tifa. The vendor seems to clam up the moment he hears the name. Never heard of him. He pauses to rearrange the fruit, accidentally sticking his thumb through a moldy plum. How about the first noble? Are you serious? Who'd want to find him? Where is he? Well, you could try... He points to the monument. You could try there, or so I hear. How about an undead creature? No goes there. It's in the graveyard. Definitely haunted. Where do you get your fruit? From another fruit seller. How about spell lines? Ah, so that's what you're about. Well, you're going to get your head cut off going around saying that to people. Yeah, that's what I thought. Back to the square. I got 1 provision. Better than none. Look through the arch. The arch at the far end of the square is thronged with more creatures, not all the same as those in the square. There seems to be a bustling hub beyond. A market district, perhaps? From the monument, you hear a sudden gasp. Something has happened. You cast another look at the monument and the crowd around it, but nothing seems to have changed. The creatures are still waiting for something. You know what? We'll just wave. There is no response. Pick a pocket. Growing bolder, you pick out a well-dressed creature with closed eyes and stalk him, reach out for his pocket. Relieving him of his gold proves an easy task. Move away quickly. Okay. Am I gonna get caught if I do it one more time? One more, just one. You find yourself another mark. Your fingers are on his gold pouch when your victim suddenly whistles. You look up and see his closed eyes turned towards you. You stay silent, holding your breath so the blind creature cannot find you, but the ruse doesn't seem to work. Something happens. It's too fast to tell exactly what, and suddenly you have a weeping burn down the length of your sword arm. Cast a spell! What spells can I cast? You attempt a retaliation, but a moment later, another burn lances across your neck. Oh, fuck. Let's see. Keep an eye on my goods. You are marched away through the alleyways to a building surrounded by a high wall. It is prison. You are dragged across the yard to an underground corridor. Greet the creature. You pick yourself to your feet, dust yourself down. Apologies, you say to your cellmate. It's an elven like those you met in the hills, but seems worn out and exhausted. The creature nods to you. Welcome to my little world. What is this place? Who are you? My name is on the outside, hardly seems to matter. My name in here is 6, and that'll be your name too. It's written on the door. From the sounds coming inside the walls is one of the several cells all side by side. You hear snores, shouts, and screams. You're an elven. I've met your kind before. He shrugs. Elvens are pretty annoying creatures, but that's not what they locked me up here for. The cell is empty except for a bucket. Murmuring an apology, he uses it for what it's for. What is this place? It's the jail of the Red Eyes. There's one outside. He points to the guard, whose face, with eyes closed, fills a tiny porthole. Why are you here? You know, I've asked myself that every night since I was arrested months ago, and I still can't figure it out. I didn't do anything to accept these people. My only idea is that the Red Eyes aren't happy unless they've got somebody locked away. He smiles thinly. And maybe now you're here they'll let me go. You think so? No, I don't. The smell from the bucket in the room is quite terrible. How can we escape? Escape? If there's a way to escape, do you think I'd be here? Do you think I haven't tried? I'm elven. We're not known for sitting still. It's true, even as he talks to you, he's constantly fidgeting. I might be able to find the spell that'll get me out of here. Safest way. When information about the safest way to escape is desired. We've got how. That's probably not the one I want. I could do stop. Bring a giant. Let's see what spells I can cast. Do we have a how? We do have a how. You ready your mind for a spell, but nothing happens. The elven laughs bitterly. The walls are infused with minimite blood. Stop people from getting out. Try a key. Try the copper key. You wait for the guard to turn away from the door, then hurry forward with the key, given to you by the beggar outside Christiani. It turns! The elven claps his hand, careful to be silent, and the two of you slide out the door. The guard's back is still turned. You have a chance. Are the doors outside? Oh, the magic chain! Pick up the bucket. Is it a one-time use? I mean, getting out of a dungeon. Or I can use the bucket. This might be the time for the chain. I'm going to try the bucket first. Moving silently, you pick up the bucket. The elven looks at you curiously, says nothing. Put it on the guard's head. You raise the bucket to a nice high, creeping forward on tiptoes. At last possible moment, you bring it down on the guard's head. Unmentionable substances trickle down his face for a moment he cannot see. Drag him into the cell. Between you, you grab the guard's arms and drag him into the cell. Excellent, hisses the elven. Now to get out of this place. He rushes towards the door. Search the guard. You search the guard, finding a copy of the key you already have along with a couple of gold pieces. Hurry! The elven hisses from the doorway. You dive out the corridor and slam the door behind you. Lock the door. Moving quickly, you lock the cell door with a copper key. Run for it, the elven cries, and he's right. Inside the cell, the guard has got the bucket off his head and is moved to the window. You hurtle around a corner just as a beam of fire explodes off the wall behind you. You hear him rattling on the door to the cell, but he cannot open it. You race up a set of stairs, heading toward a patch of sunlight, and emerge in an alleyway on the other side of the prison wall, the elven at your back. Yes! Here, use this key. Why did I get a key? I don't know where I got the key from the guard outside. I was like, he's a soldier. The soldier gave me a key that got me out of jail. This is amazing. I'm like, I have nothing to lose by trying this key. It's not like it's not going to work. It worked. You emerge into a quiet side street and begin to weave and duck through the alleyways. The elven, weak from his long stay in the tiny cell, can barely keep pace with you, but is filled with such joy to be free that he laughs even as he trips and stumbles. Turn left! Left is always seemed to be the correct answer in this game. The junction, you turn left. Do you know where you're going? He asked, but there isn't time to reply. Let's see. We turned left. Let's make another left. Next junction, you go left. He cannot keep this. Go on, he grasps him several steps behind. I'll hide. Well, you know what? I think helping this guy escape, and he's mad. He's in jail for a reason. He's gonna know something. You're nearly free, you reply, grabbing Elvin under his arm. I mean it, he hisses. I'll hide, you idiot, while you distract more guards with your running. Now go. You know what? I'll take it. You know what? Good plan, you reply. I know that, the elven hisses, burying himself in a pile of box and scraps. Now go. You do not need to be asked twice. You wish him luck, then hurry away. The elven crawls into a pile of junk and beds down. Perhaps you will see him again. Keep running and take a left. Quite suddenly, you emerge out of the alleyway into a wider, busier street. You slow yourself to a nonchalant walk. Yep, that was amazing. Here, we'll just take the detours. There we go. We made it! Behind the building, through the alley! The road turns and heads roughly southeast once more, but you have been spotted. A group of young orclings are scurrying towards you. I got out with more gold than I went in with. Hurry and avoid them. Wait for them to reach me. A group of young orclings. Is there a group of young orclings? You know what? Stop and wait for them to reach. Hello, they pipe 1 gold piece for our bellies. One demonstrates, pointing to an open gob which lacks teeth and, you notice, also lacks a tongue. Their hands poke at you and push outwards, hoping for a donation. Throw a gold piece. Oh. I gotta use my... Please tell me I can use my create golden... I think if I give them something... I want dud. I think if I give them something, they'll mob me for the rest of the money. But maybe I can cast dud and make them believe there's a whole bunch of spells, goodies on the ground. Oh, please let me cast dud. I need a good reason to... Yes! Dud! You cast the spell and piles of golden treasure spill from the sleeves of your jacket all over the road. The orclings go instantly into a frenzy of collection, running over each other and beating each other up, stuffing handfuls of gems into their tunics. You take the opportunity to slip away. You continue up the road, leaving the chattering orclings behind. After a short distance, you come across a large bridge made of stones and mortar. It stands alone inside its own patch of grounds, and unusually it seems to be in a state of good repair. A large L is carved on one of the gateposts. The main road continues straight. Get out of the way in case the orclings turn around and try to chase me down the street. You enter the gate and follow the path of the front of the house, between the well-tended trees. This place, unlike the mansion in Lower Carre, seems quite lived in. Actually... creep around the side. You move confidently and with stealth. Dropping to all fours, you sneak through the gate and crouch low below the window at the side of the house. But the house seems to be empty, so your caution is unnecessary. Staying close to the ground, you explore the grounds of the building. Outbuilding. You creep over to the cover of an outbuilding. It was perhaps once a storehouse, but its contents have now burst through its walls. Broken items and bits of glass tumble out between bent wood slats and through fractured window panes. Looking back at the house, you can make out a door into the rear of the house. Look through the trunk. You cautiously pick through the junk. There's a gold-backed mirror, its glass shattered, some fragments of an orb of a crystal, and half of a pearl ring with what looks like a mark taken out of it. The owner of this house must have been a wizard and was not afraid to experiment with valuable equipment either. Try to repair something? I don't have anything to repair anything. Ring, mirror, crystal. I don't think I have anything. I have a cane. I have a badge. I have teeth, face. I don't have anything to repair these. Ring, mirror, crystal. Mirror. You lift the gold-backed mirror carefully. The glass is cracked, but none of it seems to have fallen out of the frame, which means you may be able to repair it. You open your pack, but as you try to slide the mirror in, the glass fragments fall out and shatter to dust. The mirror is now useless. The ring. There are tooth marks in it. Something has eaten the pearl itself, or perhaps they ate the person wearing the ring and spat that part out. Either way, it is incomplete. How about the crystal? You lift the crystal from the junk cautiously. Once this orb would have contained swirling depths and deep fog, and allowed the user to cast a spell of foreshadowing, but now it is good for nothing. Most of it is missing. You fling it aside. You leave the junk pile and broken treasures and turn your attention to the back door of the house. You're in luck, it seems. It is slightly ajar. It's a door! It's ajar! What is the back door doing way over there? The outhouse is down here. The outhouse, okay, fine. We'll just make our way dizzily over here. You open the back door. It has been carelessly left unlocked. You go inside. The inside of the house is well kept and clean. There are fresh flowers and vases, and the surfaces are dust-free. It is as though whoever lived here has just slipped out for a few minutes and will return at any moment, except for the paper strewn everywhere across the hallway. The floor is almost a foot deep in books, torn pages, and folders with charred edges. It is as though a lightning storm has passed through the study and left. Another door lies opposite. By the smell of it, it is the kitchen. Papers. Browse through the papers. Some are complex and you cannot understand the words. Others are calculations. There are also maps and charts and plans of I still don't know how to say that. Carre, the hills, the Bachlands to the north. Other documents look almost like charts for spell making, such as the chief mage used back in the outpost settlement to prepare your spell book. Whoever lived here was clearly a scholar of some great wisdom, and most likely a wizard as well. Exploring doesn't seem like a good idea somehow. 11 out of 20 stamina. Doesn't seem like a good idea. Well, too bad. We're going to explore. You open the door of the kitchen and go inside. It is laid out as though the owner of the house was in the middle of preparing a meal. Bread is sliced, cheese on a plate, a glass of wine sits beside the open bottle. Nothing here is time to go moldy. Something is rattling in the cupboards. Eat. You eat the bread and drink the wine and finish off the cheese, which is full, flavored, and ripe. There is enough left over for you to add one more ration to your pack. Awesome. Why not? You open the cupboard out of curiosity and immediately bowed over as a thing erupts with angry force. You crawl backwards into the hallway to get away from its gnashing flames and get to your feet to see what it is. A bristle beast, and it is furious. That's okay. I just need to figure out what my slow spell is again. It's my favorite one. Dawes. You'd think I'd have a Dawes. I do not have a Dawes. There is no D. HP little MGS. Little MG and S. There's a sap. I could try a sap. I'm gonna try sap. Why not? S A P. You cast a spell of the creature who draws its hind legs up piteously and begins to whine. It is already quite sad, it would seem, over whatever happened to its master, and the effects of your spell are too much. It slumps back into the kitchen. Where now? You open the door to the study, pushing hard against a deeper pile of paper. This room looks like a tornado has traveled through it, and perhaps one has. The very center of the room is a blackened circle burnt into the carpet. There's a smell of iron and ammonia in the air. it is hard to escape the sense that something great and terrible magic was performed here not long ago. There's no sign of the magician who crafted it. Search the papers. On all fours, you dig through the pile of paper. Books, torn up almanacs, historical files, and sheets of scrawl and scribble. There's nothing here with any meaning. On one sheet, you find an intriguing series of symbols. NQ. And a series of other marks written and crossed out. Only one is still readable and has been circled. L. I don't know the Greek letters. You keep rustling through the paper, finding little else of value. Then, underneath a heap of tomes about early founders of the city, with several pages underlined and marked with comments you cannot read, you unearth the green-haired wig! Yes! Which puts you into your pack. You return to the hallway. Green-haired wig lets me talk to people and things. Where can I go now? Anywhere? Just outside? Just to leave the house. You return to the main road. Ah, this is awesome! Woo, look! I'm gonna run around in circles for a while. The road continues on between dense houses on either side when suddenly you begin to smell a sharp, acrid smell. Burning. You look ahead to see a column of smoke. Is the district on fire? Turn down an alley. Turn aside from the road, taking one of the winding side alleys, eventually emerging within sight of the square. I think I'm going to stop here for now. We'll find out what's burning in the square in the next episode. See you then!